At Kroger, fresh groceries are our thing, so we check your delivery order for freshness at every step from farm to store and pick and pack every veggie in your free pickup order with care, because we treat your food the way we'd want ours to be treated. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Craving a rom-com for your Valentine's Day weekend? Watch I Want You Back on Prime Video. Dumped and horrified to learn that the loves of their lives have moved on to new relationships, Emma and Peter join forces, hatching a hilarious plan to win back their exes, making bad decisions with unexpected consequences. Starring Charlie Day, Jenny Slate, Scott Eastwood, Manny Jacinto, Clark Bacco, and Gina Rodriguez. Watch I Want You Back February 11th, only on Prime Video.
From one side, one nasty wave almost flipped the boat, but I managed to balance it. But at the same time, one of my carbon oars gave out, and I'm happy to have the spare ones.
Happy Monday, folks, and welcome to the last day of January. We're 1/12 the way through the year, and if you haven't set a goal for an adventure, do it. Just last night, I talked it over with my wife, and I set a goal to do an adventure I've been thinking about this year, for the last few years, actually, and finally said, all right, got to make it happen this year. So more news to come on that. It'll be happening in the summer. But if you haven't set a goal yet, I am excited to bring you today's episode because Karlis was such an inspiring conversation. I remember this talk from a couple years ago about, he's calling us from Papua New Guinea, by the way, too. So pretty adventurous just in the fact that he's calling us from so far around the world, talking about this experience of circumnavigating the globe via human power. And we are going to absolutely have to have him back on to tell the rest of the story. I figured that it would just be such a great episode to get the juices flowing, to keep the things rolling. I know we've been talking a lot lately about huge adventures, and I want to pare it down to things that are sometimes more relatable, sometimes we can do on a more regular basis. I will be doing a very short adventure in a couple weekends. So if anybody's in the Florida area, Central Florida, want to go kayaking for 2 days, let me know. I'm going to be doing an overnighter with some friends, and I'm trying to fit those in at least every other month this year. So 6 adventures a year at the minimum, with even smaller ones and different opportunities throughout. So between the big circumnavigations of the globe, fit in as much adventure as you can because it's all the same stuff. It's just essentially the amount of time you can be out there doing it. So, all right, without further ado, let's get into Karlis' story. Where exactly are you right now?
So it is northeastern part of Papua New Guinea province, Madang. Well, not a village; it's a kind of a city. But really difficult to call this a city. But it's here something around like 600,000 inhabitants. So it was. Wow. It's quite a big place. But those guys are living somewhere around. There is some small islands around. So. At least I'm staying in one secure place where is like 24 hours security, and because there is a like high crime, but at the same time when I arrived, I understood that the same law of traveling around is working also here. Like 99% of the people are kind, nice, welcoming, friendly. And then there's 1% of just some jerks who ruins the impression of all country. But up to now, only good experience, and everyone is friendly and nice to me. So
wonderful, man. How long do you think you're going to spend there?
Right now, I thought to stay like just 1 week. I arrived something around 4 days ago. But there is this issue with the satellite phone because I have one phone which I use for communication with the media back in my country, and at the same time I get some like weather forecasts, some advices from my voluntary friends who help me with like I don't have like a professional weatherman or something. I have a friend who is a sailor and he have sailed across the Pacific and he knows something more about this thing, and he just checks the weather, and then I get updates on my satellite phone. So that's like a crucial equipment. So I need to wait replacement for that because 1 week ago, before I arrived here on Madang, my phone just gave out, I think, antenna or something, and here's nobody who has some skills to fix it. I don't know how to fix it myself, so yeah, it's kind of important. And I found some solution from Australia, whereas my friends who could just send me the used phone just to use it for a couple of months. So yeah, just really waiting for that now at the DHL. So
wow, you never know what's gonna happen when you go on an adventure, right?
well, yeah, and usually you take some backups, and I do have almost item. I have I have like a spare water maker, but I didn't had like separate like additional satellite phone. So yeah.
Wow. It's so you are in Papua New Guinea because you rode there from Peru, correct?
That's correct. Yeah. Well, this story like requires some backtracking
Yes,
because
yes. It's part of a much bigger adventure.
start or I don't have we started already or I don't know.
I tell you what, yeah, we start the interview. I'll give a official intro after when I go to edit the video or the episode. So I want to hear, how you got to this point, and basically, I mentioned in the intro, Board of Borders is your kind of your expedition, your overall the bigger theme of what you're doing, and it came out of you wanting to do something more with your life. Do you mind taking us back to what you were doing before all this, and then essentially how you got to where you are now?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
All
Let's
right.
jump on.
Cool.
Basically, all this started. Board of Borders started in 2013. Finally, I decided, and I made some not only decisions but also some practical things to move forward. Before that, I was working in a recycling company in research and development, and also I was in charge of one recycling facility in my country, in Latvia. That's northeastern Europe. And that was a job which actually I was enjoying because it gives some more added value to the nature, to environment around you. Not only that someone pays you salary every month, but also some added value, and that was important for me. So, but with every vacations, what I get, as my background is climbing, I didn't have any problems to have an ideas like, oh, where should I go on my vacation? That was always like I went to climb some mountains, some frozen waterfalls, some rock faces. Always when I came back from those trips, I had an idea, how I could prolong that thing, how I could just change that, because 2 weeks, 3 weeks feel like so alive, feel full of juice, and then I'm back at work. But even though the work was also interesting, I was more focused on my priorities, and that was like I decided to live in adventure and how I could do that, and that was like a big question for me. And Actually, I went to one climbing meet, UK. That was Mountaineering Council organized event. So yeah, I heard the story of Nick Bullock. I don't know if I pronounced his name correctly, but he's a climber from UK, and his book came out that year. Echos, one climber's hard road to freedom. And I heard him speak on that event, and after that I was just like blown away. I had so much inspiration from him, and I thought, no, I have to do something with my life too, and if I want to live in adventure. Bought his book, and I was reading his book. I already kind of made decision that I will quit my job. I will start to go on adventures, but I was kind of, let's say, afraid, because this decision was so important, because it means that I will change completely my life. That's why I read this book very, very slowly, because I knew what kind of decision I will make by the end of that book. Yeah, when I finished the book, I was already planning my trip across Europe on roller skates. It's a kind of a mixed thing, like roller skates and roller skis. So that was my first big adventure across Europe for 60 days, every day roller skiing about 100 kilometers. That was a cool trip, because my friends were following me with the camper van. They did cooking, they did driving, they communicate with the media and posted on socials, and they supported me, cheering up, and that was really cool trip. And that was from north of Norway to south of Spain, so from North Cape to Gibraltar. A bit more than 6,000 kilometers in 60 days. That was just amazing. So yeah, and then just step by step, one project followed next project. Eventually, I end up planning the trip around the world by human power. So I'm not using any sail or any motor to move myself forward. So in 2016, I rode with my friend from Africa, from Namibia to Brazil. That was 142 days. And yeah, we planned it actually for 100 days. And so it ended up like 42 days longer and slower. So we had some problems, some health issues, and like actually quite severe. And when I look back now to that adventure, sometimes I even thought like, well, how we actually get through that? And yeah, there is a nice movie. I like to share my adventures afterwards, so I took nice footage, and some of my friends helped me with the movie editing. Yeah, there's a movie called Touched by the Ocean. That's kind of essence of that adventure, all that story, like how we started by just like Googling. That was actually how I started. Yeah, I Googled how to row an ocean. That was around 4 years ago. So I'm not a sailor. I'm not like a professional athlete, but I didn't know anything about that. But I think nobody knows anything about something before he learns that. And so I just started from zero, and started to learn about all the navigation and about the boats and what kind of food we need on the boat and etc. And also, of course, I know the listeners are listening to this now and thinking, okay, man, but where did you get the money, you know?
That's always a big question. How do people pay for it?
Yeah, and there is no like magic stick. I don't have a magic stick that is just I can just wave and then the money appears.
Right.
That's just the same as I think all of adventurers have done who has some sponsorship. They start with the smaller projects, they build some portfolio. They build some credibility. Just slowly, step by step, with each project, you can move forward and attract bigger and bigger companies. So even though, like for example, my project is mostly known to be honest, just in my country. And we are 1.8 million people there. So you can imagine those are smaller markets for the big companies and smaller markets for everything. I kind of found the solution for this. I asked for really small money, but I asked to a lot of companies. So I don't have like anchor sponsors, but I have like 40 companies who support with some small things. Or for them, maybe it's not a lot of. It's a big budget for me, and if I put all those 40 supporters together, then it can be done. So yeah, that's kind of my solution to that. But yeah, it's always like a full-time work when I'm back from Brazil, because I planned to do that in a couple of stages. So first stage was to cross South Atlantic. Then I came back to my country for 1 year when I gathered the funds, made documentary, and shared the story with a lot of people. And then went back to Brazil to continue. So it took me like 1 year to restart myself and my squeezed budget, and then I could go back and continue. So in 2018, January, went back to Brazil to continue the journey with the tandem bicycle. I was teamed up with my friend. That time she was my girlfriend, and we planned this trip together that we will continue also further after crossing the South America. That we will continue to row together with this rowing boat across the Pacific. But when we crossed South America, she was done with the big trip. She said that she wants to do something else in her life, and she has some other priorities. So she went back from Lima. She went back to Europe. Yeah, I was there. My boat was there, and I had all food for 2 people for enough to reach Asia. Go for that. Actually, I couldn't wait to be on the ocean. Most of those adventure people, before big trips, the preparation part is like just so consuming. You're so tired that you just want to go out and and recharge yourself with all the nature power. So
Right.
that's what I was waiting for, really. And in Lima, when I was about to leave, so I had preparation for I don't know, a couple of weeks there, and so when I finally took off from there, 2018, 14th of July, I was just so happy that I rode for a couple of days, and then I knew that I will be off the coast, off the main shipping lines, and I will be able to sleep. So for a couple of days, I was just, chilling out and enjoying ocean. There was really strong winds, big waves, but apart from that, I was lucky because those waves and the wind was pushing me westwards, so the right direction, and I was just happy.
So you went out on your own. What was it hard to navigate the boat by yourself?
So that was something new, because Atlantic I did with my friend, and the schedule on the boat when there's 2 rowers, you do like 2-hour shifts, 2 hours rowing. One is rowing, the other one is resting for 2 hours, sleeping, eating, I don't know, crying or laughing or calling mom. And so each 2 hours you change the shifts. And but when you do it solo, it's a bit different, and you use all the sunlight, daylight, what you have. So you wake up early. I wake up a bit before the sun comes up, so at 5 o'clock. No, it depends on the time zone, but around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, I row for about 2 hours, then I eat breakfast, then I row for 4 hours, then I eat lunch, then I row for 6 or 7 hours, and then I eat something a little bit, not really heavy dinner, but and then I go to sleep. So it means like just when the sun goes down, I also switch off. So a little bit difficult in terms of that there is a time when no one is like on the watch on the boat, and no one is balancing the boat. But at the same time, the boat is equipped with equipment which can detect the big ships, the big tankers. And it's quite important, because when 330 meters tanker, that's like a stadium, just 6-story building going to your direction.
That's scary.
Yeah, quite scary, but at the same time, I always call them on the radio, so I communicate with those big ships, and there have been situations when they say, "But where? We don't see you. Where you are out there?" I said, "I'm really small boat, really low, really close to the water line, so you won't be able to see me. Just check my position on this radar." Some time to time, I even had to ask to change their course. And even though it's a 330 meters tanker, like with the very important cargoes, they change the course and they give away to a small rowing boat. And so they are very polite, and I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, once there was a nice chat between me and the tanker, and when I reached out to them, there was like they came back to me like, "Really? Is that correct? The rowing boat?" So that was fun. But in Atlantic Ocean, we had encounters with those big ships. We had, as I said back then, we had health problems, and we even were running out on some medicines and some vitamins. So we asked whether it's possible for them to stop that tanker and support us with some medicines. Those big ships, they it took some time for them to stop, because they even if they start to this process of stopping, it takes some time. And then we were approaching closer, and they lowered down by the ropes some bags with some fresh like apples and grapefruits and oranges, and that just blew our minds off. But that was in Atlantic, and we even hit one tanker when we were so close to big ship. But all good, the tanker didn't sink, so.
And you guys didn't either, I assume.
Yeah, that's everything is on the movie. It's quite fun, yeah.
That's funny. So between inline skating across Europe and then bicycling on a tandem bicycle, as well as ocean rowing, which of the sports do you find most challenging, and which do you enjoy the most personally? Let's take a quick message break and hear from the folks that help make this show possible. On the show, we talk a lot about the adventure, but it's honestly the time between the adventure that is most important, being adventure ready, as we say. And the most important aspect of that is knowing your body and knowing what's going on inside your body. And the most important company that can help you do that is Inside Tracker, literally tracking what's going on inside your body. Inside Tracker analyzes your body's data and provides you with a clear picture of what exactly is going on, so that you can make changes to your diet or see what's working, what isn't. And how they do it is they analyze all the data from your blood, DNA, lifestyle, and fitness trackers to help you optimize your body and know what's really going on. So if you'd like to learn more or get 25% off the entire Inside Tracker store, go to insidetracker.com/adventure sports. That is insidetracker.com/adventure sports. Inside Tracker can get you ready and keep you ready for all your favorite adventure sports.
I am someone that's not quite smart enough or going to take the time to figure out all the things that my body needs nutritionally. And so I kind of like a cheat code of sorts, almost something that can just get me what I need without me having to think about it. And that's why I'm actually very excited to be talking about Athletic Greens, because they have a daily powder that you can mix with water called AG1 that has 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day. I just do it early in the day, get it done with, and it makes you just feel more accomplished. I feel better. I have more energy. And no matter if you're on a special diet like keto, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, whatever, it doesn't interfere with any of that. Athletic Greens has figured it out because you could not afford this trying to put those 75 ingredients together yourself. They make it even easier by throwing in a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free Athletic Green AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. All you got to do is go to athleticgreens.com/ASP. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/ASP to take ownership over your health. Pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Craving a rom-com for your Valentine's Day weekend? Watch I Want You Back on Prime Video. Dumped and horrified to learn that the loves of their lives have moved on to new relationships, Emma and Peter join forces, hatching a hilarious plan to win back their exes, making bad decisions with unexpected consequences. Starring Charlie Day, Jenny Slate, Scott Eastwood, Manny Jacinto, Clark Bacco, and Gina Rodriguez. Watch I Want You Back February 11th, only on Prime Video.
That is plenty of that for now. Let's get back into the episode.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's like asking who of children.
Depends on the day, huh?
But I really enjoyed all of those disciplines, if I can call it like this. But I do love mountains. I do love ocean, and all nature is just beautiful. And if I just change the means of transportation, I can't say that the bicycling was the best or roller skiing was the best. Each of those journeys had something in it which attract me, and I definitely want to do some other roller skiing trip, maybe sometime in the future. I definitely want to have more bike touring in the future. Right now, I'm dreaming about climbing some mountains too sometime, because that's what I haven't done for a couple of years already. So
with each leg of this journey, you have a set amount of time, and then you have to go back home to make more money and to save some stuff, and also spread the word about what you're doing. But the overall goal is to circumnavigate the world by human power alone, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And I know that on your show there was a gentleman, Erden Eruch, and there is another gentleman, Jason Lewis. Those both are inspiration to me, as well Colin Angus, who have circumnavigate the northern hemisphere. Yeah, there are a couple of those human-powered circumnavigators out there. Just really few, but I know some of the guys who are now on the road. That's the idea, to go all around the world just using human power, no motor, no sail. So any means of transportation, like bicycling, I don't know, like roller skiing or walking, rowing, kayaking, that's all good. As long as you make a distance just by your own. And that's kind of, I think, also some inspiration from like mountaineering there is, because I sunk this inspiration from the old style climbers who climbed like big mountains, 8,000 meter peaks in Himalaya without supplement oxygen, so without any support, because that's kind of, I think it's a kind of a cheating, because if your body can go up to 6,500 meters, then that's your level. If you can go higher, 7,000, 7,500, that's your level. And if you can climb 8,000-meter peak on your own without artificial oxygen, that's what you can do. And so I think some inspiration from that too. And that's why I think this human power thing attract me so much. So yeah.
Okay. And so what kind of are the big pieces of what's left for the circumnavigation around the world? I know you are currently on your way to Australia. Then what? What's your plan then? And then what's kind of after that as well?
Well, I found out that my plan is has been changed already, maybe some 9 times or something, because some conditions change, some options change, and also you have to take in account the weather seasons. My plan was to go to Australia now, but when I was approaching Papua New Guinea, the winds in Solomon Sea blew me northwest, and I'm so high now in PNG, so I think no, that's definitely, I am not about to go to Australia now. I am about to go to Asia. It's about 2,500 nautical miles to mainland Asia now from my location in Madang. So I will take course of just slightly north and more west. So northwest I will to reach mainland Asia. Where I'm gonna end up, it's difficult to say, whether it will be Malaysia, Vietnam, China. I can't say now, and that's I think a fun of it, and that's also interesting for the followers to follow this journey, because the waters in front of me now haven't been rowed before with this kind of ocean rowing boat. There have been quite a few ocean crossings from North America to Australia, from South America to Australia, but those waters in front of me now, there's no historical rows there. So I don't know, to be honest, to say precisely where I'm going to end up, because the weather will change in the middle of November. Second part of November, the wind will change in South China Sea. I don't know yet, but it's there is that thrill, that I don't know, magnet, that unknown, and that really calls me out to go and experience all that. So.
Wow. Now, did you mention that you're married?
Oh no, I am not married.
No?
And
I thought you mentioned wife.
Well, I think there is a time for family in my life in the future, and I like now I found out those families who travel around the world with the sailing boats, and I met those guys in French Polynesia, in Tuvalu Islands. I was just so inspired by them, and I think maybe that's something what I would like to experience with my future family, like to come back to those places where I have been with the rowing boat, maybe to come back the second time with the sailing boat with the family, and to create great experiences for my family and children. But that's in the future. I don't know. It's somewhere in the future. Yeah, looking forward someday.
Right. We just had a family on the show that rows, well, they're a brand new family, a newborn baby on the boat, and they've been on the ocean traveling for 11 years on a sailboat all around the world.
Wow, that's amazing. Actually,
check it out. It was last week's episode.
All right. I have to download new episodes, because I found out about your show when I was in French Polynesia. I download all of the episodes, and you can imagine, as I'm rowing 12 hours a day, there is enough time to listen to all of them, and some of them even twice. So yeah,
that's awesome.
And there's I remember on these earlier episodes where Kurt or Travis is saying that, oh, we are creating this to get you going, like to get you out there. or to get you going if you are already out there. And I'm rowing there Pacific, and I'm like, yeah, I'm already out there, and that's a good fuel.
And it helps you keep going. That's great.
Thanks for the show. It's amazing. I just got so much inspiration from your episodes. So really love the show.
Wow. Well, it's people like you that give us something to talk about, you know? It's people out there doing it that makes the person sitting at the office at 25, 28, 30, 35, whatever age they are, and say, I'm tired of this. I want to do something with my life. And I don't have to, it doesn't have to be, 10 years straight. It can be what you're doing it in sections for many, many months at a time, coming home, seeing family, raising money, and then continuing out. It can be whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to. That's the beauty about hearing from all these people is there's so many different ways people are having adventures.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. That because as I like to say that there is a as humans we have like 55 or 65% of us are water. So any water in the world will end up in the ocean. So we are kind of part of ocean. So we have our own oceans to row. So any one of us. So whether it's a big trip or just a weekend journey, you just need to get out and have some fun. Yeah.
Absolutely. Get out and have some fun. So tell us what's one of your favorite stories about maybe this most recent row from Peru to PNG, or even from the bike trip before. What's something that sticks out of your mind as a story that helps inspire people to get out there?
Well, for example, this journey now from Peru to Papua New Guinea, it's been already 1 year and 1 month when I am on this journey. 3 months I have spent on islands, and the rest of the time is... So yeah, I've been in my ocean rowing boat for 10 months, and that's just amazing because I encountered so wild and so unique nature that it's just, I don't know, when I approach Hivaoa Island in Marquesas, that's in French Polynesia, after 140 days, I'm a man, 34 years old, and I was just, by looking on the landscape, what I saw, these mountains of that island and those cliffs and those green fields, I was just crying. That was just so beautiful that I was crying because of the beauty of a landscape. And I don't remember in my life that before that something could touch me so deeply inside that even I start to cry. It's just mind blowing for me because that kind of beauty of nature it's so unique. We just don't see that in day-to-day life. I was out there like 140 days. All that was all the time filtering through me. All this beautiful ocean. All these encounters with the whales, with sharks, with dolphins, with turtles, with birds, all that was something like a fuel to move on. To just that's my inspiration, and I found this that all that just charged me so much that I just can't live without it. Because there've been so many encounters with the wildlife, with animals. I can't even find one story to tell because all of that was so amazing that at some point the dolphins come closer to my boat. Sometimes they are very quick visitors, just for a couple of minutes and then they are gone. But there was once when they stayed for maybe 40 minutes or 1 hour and just flipping around the boat, and they were about, I don't know, something around 20 of them, and I could film them underwater, how they play, how they talk with each other with their voices. It's just so amazing. Yeah. So
there's more interaction with animals that is out there than someone who's never done this probably realizes.
Yeah, and so a lot of encounters with the wildlife, with animals. From time to time, some sharks approach the boat. Sometimes they are like just, I don't know the names of those sharks. Unfortunately, I don't recognize them. But from time to time they are aggressive. Sometimes time not, and sometimes they hit the boat with such a force that the sound which I hear in the cabin it's so loud that I think, wow, it was like someone hit with the brick, because and then I think, there's 6 millimeters marine plywood which separates me from this from the shark, or this 6 millimeters marine plywood which separates me from 5, 6, 7 kilometers depth of the ocean. But at the same time,
oh my gosh,
I feel very safe in my boat. So it's amazing. It's just amazing. Those sunrises, sunsets, and sometimes ocean is like calm as like a desktop, and it's really calm waters. Sometimes it's big waves. There was actually one accident on this trip. I broke my oar, and that was because the boat was almost flipped from one side. One nasty wave almost flipped the boat, but I managed to balance it. But at the same time, well, yeah, one of 6 my carbon oars gave out, and I'm happy to have the spare ones.
That is crazy. Do you get lonely just being out there on the boat by yourself, especially because you weren't originally planning on it?
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I don't feel lonely. I don't know. Maybe that's because I have a small audiobook library with me. I have listened to some like 100, no, more than that, almost 200 books on this trip.
Wow.
And also that's the food for my brain, and also of course the podcasts. And sometimes I don't listen to anything, and I just row, and I just enjoy the sound of the waves, the sound of the wind, the sound of the birds, and I just enjoy. So I think everything depends on your decision. If you think that, oh, I might get, I might lose my mind on this trip, you will lose your mind definitely. But I choose to enjoy. I choose to have fun. I choose to, in the registration papers of my boat, it's written, it's pleasure vessel. So I treat
pleasure vessel.
Yeah, pleasure vessel. No, for each kind of boat there is the type of the boat, like cargo or a passenger ship or yacht, or like, and my boat is a pleasure vessel. So yeah, so that's how I treat my kind of ideas about how this trip should look like and how it will play out. So I always look forward that it's going to be fun. I am going to enjoy it, and whatever comes, I can create my own space in the middle of rough seas to be calm. Because there's no other way, Otherwise, yeah, you might lose your mind. Because sometimes during the night when you sleep, most of the times you drift positively to the west, to the right direction. But sometimes I've been blown back, maybe a day, sometimes 2 days. So then you wake up in the morning and, well, yeah, you continue. If you just start to complain about situation, that how does that helps to solve that? So
oh my gosh, yeah, I guess if you weren't just naturally or chose to be just so positive, you couldn't do something like this. It almost requires that you be immensely positive about anything that happens, because I can imagine there have been plenty of things that have happened, especially in this last part, that caused you to maybe question, should I be doing this? Maybe I'm wrong. Could you answer that?
so regarding the change or the situations, yeah, I'm sometimes worried when there is some problems with my health. So I'm not a doctor, but I try to cure myself with the solutions what I have on the boat. And those situations are a bit tricky, because then I'm worried that would I be able to continue. But I always believe that I am in the right place, because I choose to do that, and I don't think I question myself so much. Like, is that the right thing? What I have to do? I really like. I'm sure that it is the right thing, and that's how I help myself to also to move forward, I think. And I think it's important to say that I have heard, for example, from other adventurers who see their adventures a bit differently. For example, I see all from this bright side and from the positive side, but I have heard from some adventurers that they see that they are like fighting against the obstacles, or that they are like pushing through. But I can't recognize myself into this kind of attitude. I found myself as a, in the martial arts. I'm not a professional, but in the martial arts, if someone pushes you, you pull. You don't push back. Use of free energy. And I always try to use that free energy. If someone is pulling me, I don't. Sometimes you have to understand that you don't push back, you pull, and with that pull, you gain more. Yeah, that's a kind of a way of thinking about these kind of obstacles. But also, I'm not a like woo woo guy. I wake up every morning, do my thing. I row for 12 hours a day. I'm not just sitting in the boat and I'm like, oh, the ocean will push me there, and I will just drift there. No, I wake up and do my thing, and and then at the same time, there are some miracles who, when they happen, they happen, and then you're very grateful for that nature helped you, that ocean allowed you to cross the ocean, that mountain allowed you to climb there. You don't conquer there. I hate that. I just
Conquering, yeah, I do too.
it's that's you can't conquer any kind of mountain or any kind of ocean. You're just a small drop in that. So you're very grateful that ocean or mountain allows you to be there and allows you to climb, allows you to row across. Yeah, that's I guess the mindset which helped me a lot to get where I am now. I am a bit more than halfway around the world now.
Wow. And man, I just wanted to go back to that word of wisdom about using the free energy. That is, I've heard that, but I've never thought to apply it really outside of martial arts. But that is an incredible word of wisdom,
Yeah.
Like what a great way to handle these random situations in life, and especially the situations that you faced. I mean, if you just like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, that really struck me. That's really good advice. I'm going to write that down.
All right, cool. Yeah, we first encountered that when we were approaching Rio de Janeiro in 2016, because everything was against us. Like, we were instead of 100 days, that was the day 141. Instead of getting there by the Olympic Games, we were like 1 month after Olympics. Our bodies were covered by boils. My friend had broken ribs, and the wind and the stream, everything was against us. We did and tried everything to get to the shore, and there was like only 20 kilometers to get to the shore, but we just couldn't. And that moment I thought to myself, well, if it's not meant to happen, it's not going to happen. But we have done everything in our what is in our forces to do, and in our abilities to change the situation. We really have to kind of look forward for a miracle to happen, And after a couple of hours, because actually I switch off the GPS at that time, I couldn't watch that we are drifting back and back into the ocean, and that was already we were circling there about like 1.5 weeks close to Rio. We couldn't make the distance which you could make in 2 days, but we were there already 1.5 weeks to trying to somehow getting closer and closer, and we were just throwing back and back into the ocean, and then in one moment the stream and the wind or something started to turn, and started to turn more and then more and then more, and then it was not pushing us against, but pulling us to the coast, but different coast, not the one we have planned, but the different one. And we just understood, whatever, we will go whatever coast we can find,
Right.
because before some guys send us the information that, oh, don't go to the beach, they can arrest you. We don't care, like let's be arrest, but we will be on the shore because it's 142 days already, and we were just heading into the beach, and then the final moments at the like the last hour, we saw a small, not a yacht club, but that was just a fisherman's boat harbor, or kind of where we end up, and we we end up without using any tow, or nobody pulled us there, but we just used it, that free energy, that kind of a miracle which happened at the right moment. But up to that, we did everything what was in our forces. So yeah.
So when you go back home, or when you when you get done with one part of the trip and you go back home, what is that like to be there, and what do people around you say? Is it hard to connect with people after an experience like what you just had?
I'm kind of easygoing guy, I think, because when I get back, I
Yeah.
found myself back into the life of like a city. Well, the capital of Latvia is like 600,000 inhabitants, so that's not like millions and millions of people. But I have my friends there who support me. I have my family who support me. Yeah, I'm lucky man to have them on my side, and they always try to help me with anything what they can, whether that's supporting with the hosting of web page, or whether it's some advice or something, or some logistic issues what I have to solve. I don't know. When I get back, there's things to do. Like I put the story together. Then I can go around schools to share my experience, and to maybe inspire them to do whatever they plan to do in their lives. So that's one part of this Board of Borders project. What I can help to somebody else, and the other thing is that with each stage I try to help to some charity. And that's what we haven't talked about, and I can tell just a little bit more about this, because
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
part now across the Pacific, it's called Grow Together. It's row together and grow together. So I invite people to row with me, like virtually, and donate how much in dollars? It's like $7 per kilometer to donate, and all funds go to a foundation who helps families to adopt children from orphanages. So the idea is that all children can grow up in a family, and that's why grow together. So that's kind of how this rowing and growing together is playing a common role. And if I can take someone with me in my boat, like virtually, or just as an idea, as I'm helping to this charity foundation, then I'm just happy to so they can jump on board.
Have you heard from anybody about hearing about your adventure and them starting to do something or them getting involved? And have there anyone ever reached out to you saying how much you've inspired them?
You know, I haven't heard like somebody. That's a good question. I'm just wondering who. Well, I have heard, of course, some people who are following the journey. They say that it's really inspiring, and that it somehow gives them a chance to see their lives and their challenges from a different point of view. There have been some friends of mine who told me that when they think about my journeys and my challenges, that's kind of shake them up, and but he's out there like completely alone in the middle of nowhere, and I'm here in city and complaining about this or that, but and therefore they are inspired to cope with their challenges. Maybe that's not like an outdoor challenge or kind of adventure challenge, but just day-to-day life maybe, and that's where I also get inspiration from them afterwards, because by sharing this all inspiration with our friends, families, and people around us, it's just how it all goes on, and just fuels by themselves, free energy again.
Yeah, wow. I know you can't talk, or I know you might not know exactly what the future holds, but what are you thinking it's turning into, knowing that you're not going to go down to Australia? What do you foresee in this next step of the route, being halfway through the trip?
All right. Well, I know that I will finish. I will end up in Namibia, Luderlitz port. That's the when I'm I don't know. Might take me maybe 2 years or at least 2 years, I think. Because I'm as I said, I'm doing this by stages, so I have to count in the time when I'm back in my country. But the next stage, just from here to reach mainland Asia, it will be very interesting for me, because it's not like the middle of the ocean where the trade winds and the streams are very stable, and most of the times, like, just every day is the wind blows the same, the stream is the same, and you just row. But here it will be completely different, because as I'm closer to the shore, as I'm closer to some islands, and there will be a lot of islands in front of me, between me and Asia, there will be some very, very funny things, I think, with my road, because the wind and the streams will dictate me their rules, and I just have to take them in account and pull as best as I can. So that's just this next 3 months, 3 to like 90 to 100 days. I assume it might take me to get to Asia from Madang in PNG, and then afterwards, I think. Well, I know that then I make a short stop there, the trip, because I fly back home at least for a couple of months, definitely to restart the budget and myself, to see my family and my friends, and then I go back to Asia, and I think bicycle is maybe the next type of transport I will use. But let's say up to now, it's not so clear the further journey, because it again might change in a few months, depending on where I will end up with the boat. The main goal now is mainland Asia continent, where I can continue with the bicycle. So let's see how it goes, and maybe we can make some other story when I'm in Asia, or when I have some updates about the journey, because this is what I decided like a couple of years ago. That's the journey of like for a life adventure, which lasts the lifetime. So.
I mean, I just am speechless. Your ability to be flexible and your ability to say, despite immense plans changing, you're able to continue on. And yeah, you say, it's not exactly how you wanted it when you set out, but I don't know that, because I still see that you're doing the trip and you're still out there having an adventure, and it's just incredibly impressive. And it's just awesome to see someone with such a great attitude making their way around the world and having I can't even imagine how many adventures along the way.
Oh man, and I'm so glad that I have this opportunity to share all this joy and all these amazing things what I have encountered, and I'm inspired by the stories, and I'm so happy to share my journey. So thanks for you to have this opportunity to share all this journey with all of the listeners and all of those adventurers out there who are now out there and listening to this. So it's so cool.
My last question is, how can people follow you, and how can they keep up with what you're doing?
So yeah, the best place to follow the journey is Board of Borders on Facebook, or the same boardofborders.com. There's a section of location where every 4 hours when I'm in the ocean, there's new location point, and basically that's how I track my route around the world. So I'm on Instagram too, but while I'm in the ocean, it's really difficult to post something on Instagram.
I can imagine.
I just send, that's the Board of Borders, the same name there. While I'm in the ocean, I send just text messages from phone to my friend who is helping me with posts on Facebook. So Facebook is the central part where it's all the news are there.
It's people like you that make this show possible. So, we just provide a platform for you to talk, and you guys are the stars of this show, and I just appreciate you being on, and I'm excited to be following you, and when you're done, we're absolutely going to talk to you when you complete the journey, or whatever it becomes. Who knows what might change by then. So,
yeah, well, to be honest, I have some fun ideas where this journey might take me, and maybe it's not right now the right time to share those ideas, but I will definitely share with you, and then let's see if we can make some new story. Yeah, I'm looking forward to share the adventure, because this is happening now, guys. This is happening now, just now. That's so cool.
You are on the trip. It is very amazing. We talk to people that, maybe their trip was 10, 20 years ago, but you're doing it. You're there right this second. So that's very impressive. And so, Karlis, man, I really appreciate you being on. Please be safe. Have fun. I know you're going to enjoy it so much, but yeah, man, we're looking forward to hearing from you again.
Yeah, guys. Thanks a lot. You're awesome.
All right, you are too. All right, man. Talk to you later.
Yeah, bye.
All right, see ya. First of all, thank you so much for listening. It means the world to us that you choose to listen to this show. If you'd like to help us further, you can leave a review on iTunes, share us with your friends, your family. It goes a long way to grow in the show. You can also support us financially through patreon.com/adventuresportspodcast. Link is in the show notes.
And also, if you have an idea of who could be a good guest for the show, we're always looking for people to tell their story about the outdoors or adventure. So if you know someone, please reach out. Email us at info@adventuresportspodcast.com. And until then, get out there and have some fun.